What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com. If you're a blind film critic, and I need you to know something. I know what you did last summer. It's a spooky season review, and this is the original I Know What You Did Last. Well, not the book. I guess that's technically the original I Know What You Did Last. This is the one that I grew up with as part of my. I don't know how old people think I am. I should probably just start trying to gaslight people into thinking that I grew up with like The Duff. That was my teen movie. All those movies. The Prom Night remake that we had in the late 2000s. Try to make myself seem like younger than I am. But no, I grew up with this. I was a teenager when this came out. I was somehow I got my mom bought me a ticket to see this. I was lucky enough to see this in theaters. I was not old enough to buy the ticket. In case you're wondering how old I am, was not old enough to buy the ticket to see this at the time. So it's based on the Lois Duncan novel, and yeah, I mean we had these books. It's funny how we take all these books out of we used to be so excited that kids were reading it all. What happened to that time? I don't even know where in books in schools anymore. But I think it's crazy because I grew up in a super conservative Christian area, and I had access to like all the Fear Street books and all the Lois Duncan, all those like young adult horror books that we had. They were all in my library in high school, all of them. Uh, so yeah, and nobody complained. It wasn't one of those things where it was like, oh my God, what are the children reading? There was no wokeness in my generation. It just was a thing. So yeah, I saw this, really loved it back in the day. So the nostalgia is still there. I can still get through it. It's not Scream for me. Scream is like on a different level. This is Scream Light. Uh, it still features stars from my generation who all acting still, by the way, fairly recently. Not, I mean, for Freddie Prinze Jr. is probably the person that I'm like, what else has he done other than the remake recently? I know he was in the Punky Brewster revival, but I kind of struggle with Freddie on what else he did. Girl in the Pool. So not he's not having the best career, but I fully believe that it's just a casting thing, and he just needs to be in the right roles, the right time. And there's nothing really missing from Freddie. He didn't like go off the rails or anything. So, because the rest of them are acting. Ryan Phillippe was just in Motorhead, which got canceled by Amazon after one season. Sarah Michelle Gellar's Buffy again. And Jennifer Love Hewitt has been on 911 since season 2, 3, 2, 3. She replaced Connie Nielsen's character. So I think it was in season 2. I can't remember. So that's in season 9. So she's been there for a long time. So yeah, they're all working still. Not quite at the same level as being film stars. I don't know that I would say of the film roles. I mean, Jennifer Love Hewitt basically went back to television pretty quickly and transitioned because she was already on Party of Five, which had a spinoff. And then I feel like she got to Ghost Whisperer pretty quickly. So her film career transitioned to TV pretty quickly. Sarah Michelle Gellar really didn't have a whole lot of films out of that time period. She has Simply Irresistible. So yeah, I mean she has some films. She's in Scream too. But yeah, mostly Buffy to get her career going. But like Ryan Phillippe did get into more films. And like I enjoyed him in the oft forgotten Way of the Gun, which if you have enjoyed Mission Impossible movies in the last well ever since 3, I think he's done all of them from 4 on. Christopher McQuarrie directed Way of the Gun back in the day. It's an interesting film. It's got a good cast to it, and with like James Caan and some other people. Uh, and then, of course, Freddie Prinze Jr., they definitely kept throwing him films. He had She's All That, Down to You, Head Over Heels, Boys and Girls. He had so many lead role opportunities given to him as a teen idol back in the day. Summer Catch. Anyway, so yeah, we also have Johnny Galecki here, who was already a known quantity from having been on Roseanne, and he kind of, I mean, he's not going to explode until really Big Bang Theory later on. So, but he stays around. But Big Bang Theory was obviously the biggest thing that happened to him. So this is, the man with the hook, Ben, spoiler, but, and this, I'm sure, is a lot closer to the book. That's part of the problem. See, part of the problem the remake has is that it doesn't want to just remake the original book or even the movie. It kind of wants to do its own thing and be different. So it has really no source material. It has a lot of its own creativity to it. Whereas this one had a source material that Kevin Williamson, who is also responsible for writing Scream, ended up adapting. So that's why I Know What You Did Last Summer feels so Scream adjacent, is because it has the same writer. And it has a lot of the same beats. It has some of the same sort of snarky dialogue coming from the that Kevin Williamson was known for writing back in the day for young people. He ended up doing Dawson's Creek. So this was very much his sweet spot. Was having success with writing for young adults at the time. And I would argue this film works. I know some people think it's just one of the lesser slasher movies. I think it became one of the lesser slasher movies because the sequels aren't very good. Like, the third film is just bonkers. It's kind of fun, but oh my god, it goes in a completely different direction. If you've ever seen I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which was straight to video, it has some thoughts. It's the season of the witch for the for the franchise, where you're just like, wait a minute, this is not the same thing as the other films. What's happening here? So it's one of the films that, had they made more films and gone, like, if we had a fourth one and they'd like turned it back around and it went back, sort of like Michael Myers came back in the Halloween franchise, if we had done that before, it would stand out as being Season of the Witch. Ironically, still also the third film of the franchise. So yeah, I I like this movie. And it has that, I want to say iconic, but it's only iconic to the people it's not that iconic. Like, if you were to quote movies, it's not one of the quotes. But I wonder how many movie nerds you could get into a room and how many of them would know that, "What are you waiting for?" It's from I Know What You Did Last Summer. But it's the one line that they repeat in the reboot. So I guess they felt like it was iconic. It was used in the trailer, but I don't know that it's that iconic of a moment in the film. I just think, yeah, the I Know What You Did Last Summer is the getting that message. That's the iconic moment. Just like the call is coming from inside the house, right? Like, that's what you remember. But the different movie, by the way, that was not in this movie. I know that's not in this movie. So I rewatching this movie for, God, I don't know how many times I've seen this movie. Not quite as many as Scream. Definitely over 5, though. This was like 7 or 8, because I knew all the beats. I was able to, like, casually pay attention to it, and I could do other things. It's so close to being a Desert Island movie for me. It's like an expanded Desert Island movie. Like, if I got all of my Desert Island movies and they were like, oh, you can grab like 50 more. It's big. You're going to be on there for a while. So grab might be in that. Like it gets so close to being a Desert Island movie for me because of the nostalgia factor of it. I love this cast, the four of them together. It's not particularly scary anymore. I don't remember if it ever was. I'm trying to think of like when were the beats? Was I ever really truly scared by this movie? And the most brutal death is I guess to stay sort of spoiler free, the one that Julie finds in the trunk of her car. I think is probably the worst of the deaths, just because of the finding it, right? The finding of the body was, from what I remember, the goriest. Otherwise, the guy's just got a hook, so it is literally a slasher. It's literally just slashing people. Um, yeah, it's 4 kids hit a guy with a car, decide they have to keep it a secret, but a year later, message pops up. I know what you did last summer. And they're like, oh no. And I would say one by one they start getting killed off, but there are 4 of them. So some other like tangential people get killed off. Had nothing to do with it, which is so funny because they do that in the remake too. They're like, if you feel so bad for the other people, you're like, that is a random person. I'm starting to notice that in like horror movies. I'm like, that's just a random person who's just standing there. Like they're not even part of the story. So it kind of happens here. I guess. I mean, the man is a little the fisherman. I think that's what we call him as the killer, right? The Ben. Uh, I think his first kill in this is a little unfair because it's not like what kind of revenge plot are you going for? I mean, there were only 4 people who knew what happened, and feel like the first death should have been one of them, but it's not because the cast is so small. That's the thing about this movie versus Scream, is that Scream sort of had a broader cast, and we didn't. It was like suggested that Casey was a friend of these people, right? That they knew her, because we didn't get to meet anyone else. We just sort of, Casey is like the opening girl, and that's how the film happens. And then later on, we're introduced to a wider selection of kids to choose from. Here it's literally 4 people, and then, well, that would not be that would not take very long. So they have to be other deaths. I like this movie. The audio description is fine. It's older, so it's a little harder to find. If you are looking for it out there on the interwebs. If you, I honestly, I've seen this movie a bunch of times, and a lot of the images came back to me from when I could see. That's why I know, like, I've seen it enough times to get those flashbacks. So it worked. I think the audio description was fine. So it could definitely use like a 4K remaster though, and be the one thing I would say. Yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer is hard to grade because there's a nostalgia factor to me, and it's not quite Scream. It's definitely better than its remake thing that happened, the reboot. It's not a requel because it didn't erase anything, except for maybe the 3rd film, but I don't think anybody really pays attention to that film. It fully acknowledges the first 2 films, and the 3rd film is not even the same cast. Really, if you haven't seen I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, it's a weird film, and I think you should check it out because it goes in a completely different direction. So, but yeah, I'm gonna give a fresh score to I Know What You Did Last Summer. and we're gonna say it's a 7.9 out of 10. That's maybe generous. I'll acknowledge that, but I can't. The nostalgia factor kind of blurs lines for me, but I do know it's not Scream. Like I do like Scream better. I might even like Halloween H2O better than this, just to be honest, just because there are more people in that movie. So it's a little bit the tension is less like, well, we got to kill a whole bunch of randos. You know? So, and The Faculty and a couple of other horror movies from the late 90s. But yeah, 7.9 out of 10. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your spooky season, and I'll see you guys last summer or next summer. Next summer. I'll see. Whatever. Bye.